All right, our last scale we're going to discuss, because frankly, if you can do 3 or 4 of these, you can do all of them. Okay, they all work the same way. So once we've got the basic idea down, we can apply it to any of the scales on the architect scale. Was this kitchen cabinet drawn at a scale, or is it actual size? Well, if we print it out, we're looking at it on a piece of paper, it's going to look pretty small. It's going to look like dollhouse furniture. So can you tell what scale it was drawn at? Well, sure, there's a little tag down here that tells us the scale is 1.5 inches equals 1 foot 0 inches. So 1.5 inches on the paper equals 1 foot out in the real world, right? So we just happen to have on our architect scale a scale that works just like that. 1.5. Okay, now this one's a little tricky. So let's be careful. Let's look to see which set of numbers we're using. Let's see if we can identify the breakdown to the left of the 0. Let's see which numbers we're not going to be using. Okay, so look at the number 0, and if we go to the right, do you see a number 2? Actually, we see 2 of them, right? We see a big 2 and a little 2. So which one are we going to use? Is that 2 feet? Well, if you go further to the right, you see after the big 2 there's a big 1. And does it make sense that starting a line from the 0 going to the right, if your first measurement was 2, then as the line gets longer that it would be 1? Does that make sense? No, that's ridiculous, right? The line is getting longer, the number should be higher. So what that should tell us is we are not using the big numbers. We're not using the 2 or the 1 or even the 3, because those big numbers belong to this big scale down here. The 3 inches equals 1 foot scale. So what numbers are we using? Well, we're using 0, we're using 2, and then we're using 4. And yeah, they don't have 1 foot marked on here, but you can figure out where that is, can't you? And that's 0, and that's 2. Can't we figure out that that's 1? Yeah, 1 foot. So 1 foot, 2 foot at the next mark, 3 foot, and hey, here's 4 foot. All right. So we know we're working with the smaller numbers, getting larger as they go to the right. Let's take a look at the breakdown. 0 inches, 3 inches, 6, 9, and then 12 inches at the end, right? Because this once again is 1 foot. So how's the breakdown work here? Kind of like the 1 inch scale, isn't it? Take a look. We've got 3 inches, 2 inches, 1 inch, ½ inch, quarter inch. Right? There are 4 divisions per inch. There are 12 inches. So once again, we've got 48 spaces, just like before. Okay, so again, if you can get your brain wrapped around this idea that the breakdown on each scale is slightly different, and once you learn and figure out what the divisions mean, you're golden. You can take precision measurements, and you'll be super. Okay, so let's take a look at our cabinet here. Just for the sake of speed, I'm going to take my scale and I'm going to duplicate it, right? We'll make a second scale. Some of our measurements go left and right, and some of them go up and down, and I want to have a measurement tool for both directions. So I'm going to take my scale and I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to start here at A, because I want to know how tall the cabinet is, right? That's the A measurement is. How tall is the cabinet from the top to the bottom? And maybe it'd be easier to see if I scoot it in. There we go. All right, so here is 0, and we're going up to the top. And remember which set of numbers we're using, the little ones. So here's 0, here's 1, here's 2, here's 3 feet. Yeah, the cabinet is 3 feet tall. Let's take a look at the width of the cabinet. How wide is that thing? So again, start with the 0, and then find a convenient place to start measuring. Start at the 0. 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, and some more. Well, how much more? We can be precise if we slide down to 3 feet and then look to see, okay, it's 1, 2, 3 whole feet. How much is left? 6 inches are left. 3 foot 6. Okay. C would like to know how tall the drawer is here. So on your worksheet, same idea. Why don't you take your scale and turn it sideways, and let's take a measurement and see how tall the drawers are on this cabinet. Okay, so there's 1 foot. It's obviously not quite a foot, so maybe we should move it to the 0 and work our way down from the 0. Looks like the drawers are 6 inches long, or 6 inches tall. D is a little kick space at the bottom there. And you know what, I already know that that's not a full foot, so I'm just going to grab it from the 0. We'll stick the 0 down here. We'll do a little measuring. Now, this is new, right? Because it doesn't land on 3 or 6 or 9. What's it landed on? Can you tell? 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch. Yeah, the kick space down there, 4 inches tall. Okay. E is the thickness of the countertop. What's the thickness between those two arrows there? So we'll grab our 1.5 inch scale. We can stick it anywhere along there, and let's take a measurement. And again, this one's a little bit different, right? I see 0, I see 1, I see 2, but it doesn't fall on the 1 or the 2. Can you tell what that is? 1, 2, 1.5, right? The counter's 1.5 inches thick. All right, and then last but not least, let's go down and measure how tall these doors are. There's the door. It starts at 0. Here's 1 foot. Here's 2 foot. And you know what? It is a little bit more, right? So we're going to grab it. We're going to slide the 2 foot up to that edge. How much is left over down here? 2 feet and how much? What would you say? Well, here's 1 inch. Here's 2 inches. Here's 3 inches. This is 1 inch. Would you say that's a half of an inch? Yeah. 2 feet, 1/2 inch, or 24.5 inches. All right. So look, we have looked at 4 of the different scales on the architect scale, and if you can figure out which set of numbers you need and figure out the breakdown, you'll be able to take precision measurements.